Hey everyone, Cindy Olin here with Create Your Own Luck and Love, and we are live. I'm so excited to have with me my dear friend and colleague, Julia Andrews.
Hi, everybody.
And we're so excited to be here to kick off the holiday season, and we're going to talk about love, what men really want, how to inspire them to really want to commit to you and be with you long term, and a little bit deeper about what goes into that around this stuff, because it's not necessarily what you think. And the reason why I invited Julia on is because Julia is, you're such a cute smiler. You're like, yes! Julia is, she's the queen of deep connection. So she has a company around exactly that, around deep. I'm looking, sorry you guys, I'm trying to figure out this whole camera thing.
I know.
It's a little awkward. So anyways, don't mind us as we're looking here, looking there, looking everywhere. Really focusing on you. And I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Is that better? Sorry, guys, we're figuring this out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, talking about, if you're on, say hello, send hearts. But Julia is amazing when it comes to deep connection. And a little bit about her, you don't mind if I share a little bit about your background and what inspired me to ask her to join us today is she really went through some challenges when it came to past relationship and, really relationships leading up through that relationship. And she had a lot of breakthroughs, struggles, challenges that brought her into a place of getting support, guidance, and coaching to help her break through that, which is part of what sent you into your deep life purpose, which is around deep connection and supporting entrepreneurs around their enrollment conversations. So you guys, if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to attract your ideal clients, talk to this woman. She's amazing. Anyway, we're going to talk to you guys today a little bit about men, what they really want. And
yes, I love all this. I'm just like, yes, talk about me now. This is incredible, but
yeah. So something that, struck me when I first met Julia, I talked to her a lot about what I do and, how I help women. And as I started asking her more questions, she was so knowledgeable around the subject. And I was like, you get it. You totally understand. And so, every time I speak with her, it's like we're having a dialogue that I want to share with you guys. So first off, let's talk about what in your experience, and maybe do you want to share a little bit about your past, where you came from, and
I guess relationship wise, I'll start kind of there. I think that just like a lot of us, we do relationship in a way that to the best of our abilities, and thinking that men, at least that's what I thought, were just like women in a sense that they felt very similar to us and they wanted things just like us. And I was always very confused about.
So let me ask you something. So it was like you were communicating with men like they're big hairy women, essentially.
Yes. I don't know if anybody does this, but I did that.
Yeah, I did too. I used to actually think that men thought like we do.
Totally.
And process information like we do. And so it would become very confusing. So you guys, And Julia mentioned this to me earlier as we were talking. She's like, guys are so simple, but we make it so complicated. So if you guys have questions, comments, please put your questions below. There is no question that's a bad question or a wrong question.
Yeah.
I feel like we're way
kind of like this or something like that. Let me see. Let me get a little bit closer there.
Yeah. Anyway, so you used to think that, but tell a little story maybe about something in the past that brought you to, maybe it was a breaking point for you.
You know, so I'll dive deep right now just because I want to make this time really, really valuable. So I got married when I was younger, and it didn't work out. But when I started, I felt that it would be the absolute best relationship. I went in with the best intentions, and a lot of things.
Most of us do.
Right. Yeah. And it didn't. A lot of it started to break apart because the community. I didn't know how to ask for what I wanted in my relationship. There was always a lot of confusion around what I wanted, what he wanted, what we desired, how we wanted to do relationship. And I was doing, always picking up after, not literally, but just making sure that, you know, we were always taking care of our men from every angle. I worked, he worked, but at the same time, I felt like I was pulling double duty. If anybody can relate where you feel like you are doing more in the relationship, you are compensating, overcompensating was kind of like.
You were making the plans. You were like I
was the driver. I was basically the one that it felt, and I don't know if you guys have felt this, but I felt like the guy in the relationship a little bit. And
who's been there? Who's felt that way? Because I've done it too.
There was just a lot of masculine energy coming out of me without me even realizing it.
Yeah.
And it was such a turnoff for him. And I didn't understand that because we as women we nurture by nature and we want to love and take care of. And it became a point where, and to your question, my breaking point was that I started feeling more like his mother, and the sexual tension was not there. And it was very hurtful to me because we were young, we were like in our late 20s, and that shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
And it was. Like it really was, and we didn't connect it. There was just everything was a pull, and how do you say, like it felt very complicated for being in a relationship of love, and it felt very complicated, and I was always very confused, even though I knew that I was putting everything of me in the relationship.
Right. So you felt like there was a lot of push-pull dynamic.
Yes.
And perhaps you were doing more in the relationship. So you were in the driver's seat, and to your point, you're talking about how you were in your masculine energy and you didn't even realize that, which actually polarizes the sexual tension or the sexual energy. So, you know, and oftentimes what I've seen happen is women can become resentful when they're doing more of the work, or they feel like they want the relationship more than the man.
Oh my gosh, who's the door?
Okay. It's probably Amazon.
Yeah.
Anyway, 'tis the season to be jolly. But anyways, we're talking about what men really want. And so then there was a breaking point for you. And you had shared with me the story about how he had traveled to his family home for the holidays. You were upset, and in his mind he was thinking, because he shared it, right, that, oh, she'll be back, she'll be fine, this will blow over, and you were done.
Right. So I think what I did, now in hindsight I realized it, but I was really making him lazy. I was teaching him that I was there no matter what happened. And I mean, what married man leaves his wife and just goes off for Christmas somewhere far, far away, and then it's like, oh, she's gonna be okay, she just needs to, you know, vent or relax or whatever, and was so confident that I was gonna go back to him, and so confident that I was just gonna come to my senses and say, you know, I was wrong, you were right, and let's just kiss and make up. When in reality, he was not acting like a husband that's afraid to lose his wife, not acting like someone that's like, oh my God, how can I correct the situation? He was just so sure, because I would always show him like unconditional love, doesn't matter what you do. And it was because the more I did, I felt or thought that he would understand that I would love him more. Like, I'm showing you how I love you, I'm devoted to you. And there was a big confusion there that got me to a point where this is never gonna change. I'm doing, and nothing seems to get better.
Right.
And it really was because I was not understanding at the moment, but training him to just receive.
Right.
And not do, and not hunt, and not seek to.
Right. So men are hunters by nature.
Right.
And then you move forward from that relationship. You were like, you were done. You decided to move on, which was painful. And in that pain is when you, Julia, decided to get some help.
Yeah,
in this area of your life.
So basically, like I tell Cindy, there's me before I got help and there's me after. Because the way that I understood how a man thinks is very differently than a woman. So I realized men.
It's simpler than you think.
Oh my God.
So we're getting there. We're getting
Girls,
there, you guys.
We are complicated. And it's okay. We have to understand that that's how we are. We're complex creatures. Men are extremely simple. Bottom line, what I've been wanting to say ever since I started kind of talking is that I, in reality, didn't know how to ask for what I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to express myself in a way that he could hear me without sounding needy or without sounding like, you know, this like psycho that, you know, kind of is kind of crazy, you know.
And these things inspire a man to want to become closer to you when you have the right ask.
Yes.
And the right ask is inspirational to a man.
Right.
So
it's going from, you know, why are you doing this? Why aren't you? So instead of coming from an attitude of like, you're already putting him in the doghouse right from the get-go, that already in his mind is like, oh, this woman, he's tuned you out.
Right.
As opposed to coming from him and coming at him from, you know, if he does something that you really like just whatever it is, he may make you breakfast one time, or he may, you know, rub your back a certain way, it makes you feel really good and connected, or does something, communicate to him. And just you can say something to his ear like, you know, I really loved how I felt when you did that.
I loved how I felt when you did that. I loved, you know, or he brings you flowers. Don't shut up. I love flowers. They're so beautiful. And I think, you know, so I want to say something about that, because I speak with a lot of women and they'll say, oh, that's not really me to say it like that. Stretch yourself, get out of your comfort zone, and really open yourself up to doing that, because men need assurance worse than we do. As women, we're constantly telling each other how great we are. Like, you know, oh, your hair looks so beautiful.
Yeah, we compliment each other
lost
so
weight,
easily.
you know, whatever, right?
Right, yeah.
And with men, they don't hear that from each other. All men do is they pick on one another. That's their love language with one another. But once in a while a guy will. But if you ask for, you know, asking for what you want is it inspires them to want to do it more, to build a deep connection with you, to get closer to you, because he wants to make you happy.
Exactly. That's his goal, to make you happy. So give him an in where he can feel like he can attain that. He can make you happy. Another thing is also, this is very important, like we as women have to get emotional maturity. Like men, they have to tamer their sexual maturity or immaturity, I should say, right? And we as women have to really watch the way that we react emotionally around a man, because they connect with emotional experiences. Yes. So if you as a woman are like, you know, maybe you're going through your cycle of the month or whatever, I would highly recommend talk to your girlfriends if you're feeling triggered or if you're feeling a little bit sensitive or uneasy, and watch those conversations with your man, because it puts you in a position where your emotional experience that he's experiencing from you is not, it's not fun, it's not loving, it's not, you know, easy, it's difficult. Yeah. So it almost makes you difficult to love, and men remember how they feel around a certain woman.
Yeah, so remember that men, this is so important. Men always remember how they feel around you. So a man wants to spend more time with a woman that he feels connected with, that he feels like understands him, that makes him feel good, or he has a good experience. So it's not all about him. It's about him having a good experience, and he can feel your energy. So you could think that you're the best actress in the world and be on a date and be like, wow, it was really positive and great. Really?
Yeah.
Did you really engage with them? Did you really care? Did you get curious? Because curiosity actually builds deep connection. Think about it with any girlfriends that you know. It's the same thing. And men are, as Julia said, quite simple. So if they feel like they're understood around you, if they feel something deeper, they're going to start to trust you more. As women, we oftentimes, we want it right away. We're like, you know, boom, I met a guy, I'm attracted to him, I think he's great. I want to, you know, I want to go 0 to 60. And what that creates is, well, it doesn't necessarily create the relationship that you want, because think about it, it takes time to get to know someone. So if you're, you know, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought right now because I've got so many thoughts going on in my head.
You know, one thing I actually wanted to compare was, if you're thinking like, what does she really mean by emotional connection or emotional experience? Let me give you a very easy example that you'll remember. Like, we all have the girlfriend that we don't see often, but every single time we see her, we pick up exactly where we left off. We go out to lunch or dinner or drinks, and it's just always, it's like self-esteem, you know, kind of like a deposit on our self-esteem bank every time we see her, right?
And we feel good around her.
It's like, it's just amazing and cool and fun, and you feel good about who you are, right? And we also know a girl who maybe was a really good friend or ex-friend or whatever. When you see her, it's not that you don't like her, but she drains you.
Yeah.
And she's like, God, I wish she could be this way. She's so great, but she's just so full of, you know, up in her head or emotionally draining. So think about it that way. Who would you rather spend your day with? Your fun friend who gives you that emotional experience that is just fun and loving and vibrant and joyful? Or the other girl that is like, she's nice, but she's just, she's robbing you of energy.
Right.
So think about it that way.
And I think that a lot of times we think of our relationships with our girlfriends as different than men. And yes, they are. And no, they aren't in some ways.
Yeah.
Because, you know, yeah, you want to have fun with someone, and you also want to be able to share deep things. You want to be able to connect with them deeply. It's the timing around that. You know, you don't want to unload everything that's going on with you. But you want to be light, happy, fun, and you want to be vulnerable as well. Like, yeah, I did have a hard day. You know,
here's another one.
I lost a big deal or whatever, right?
Here's another one that a lot of that when I was kind of, in this learning process, felt very counterintuitive to me.
Yeah,
very counterintuitive to me. So I've always been this woman who's a doer, who does, have
most of you women are.
Yeah.
Frankly,
so we're,
right?
We're masters of the universe, and we run our own businesses or lives, or, we get it. You guys know how to do that. When it came time to meeting a man, it was super uber important that you allow a guy to be a guy around you.
Yes.
Or else it's like two boys butting heads when you're in disagreement, when you're in conversation.
It's competition.
Yeah.
And what cuts men off and doesn't inspire him to get closer to you is when he's like, oh, let me get that for you. No, I got it. And you want to, and maybe you guys are going, cringe, I've done that. We've all done it.
Yeah.
And men are very forgiving, so don't worry about it. But the thing is make that a practice, and make it a practice to ask for support, right? But when they offer, and a lot of times they will, they'll offer their support. And why, a lot of times women will say, well, gosh, I was struggling. Why didn't a man ask me? Well, let me tell you something. Men also have gotten, rejected so many times, or with so many women that have said, nope, I've got this, when clearly they're struggling.
Yeah.
That they've stopped being chivalrous. They've stopped asking you to support you, because frankly, we have a society out there that's, feminine is, women are the new men is basically the message. And, I love the feminine move. I love the fact that, women are rising.
Yeah.
But there's a lot around that space that is creating competition, a disconnect, and men don't always know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
And what creates closeness?
I would just say if this is the guy you want, allow him to be a man around you. Like, be a girl around him. You can run your business and your life outside, but with him, if he wants to pay for things, just allow him to do that. Be the girl.
What else does being a girl encompass?
A lot of things. Okay, so here's another counterintuitive thing for me. Like, I've always done, because of my background, my father wasn't in the picture for when I was kind of little. So I had to do a lot of things on my own. And I've been used to doing things on my own. That's why in my first relationship it failed miserably. I was the doer. And now in this relationship, which is amazing, I decided to, because of the teachings and everything that I was learning, to allow him to do things for me. Even though I felt like, oh, this doesn't feel right, because I was not used to anybody or depending on anybody. But if he offered to help me, I remember one time my tire blew up and I was going to call AAA, take care of it, right? But I was with him that moment, and we were married. Yeah, we were, dating. And I remembered, and something in me said, Julia, just allow him to take care of you. Because it also allows you to see what else he want, like, what does he want to do for you? How does he want to take care of you? And this is it shows you what are things to come.
Right. So the way that he's treating you now is what's coming forward.
Oh,
so if you give him the space to do that, we teach people how to treat us.
Yeah.
Right. So if you give a man a space to show up for you, he's going to continue to do that. And watch the way he's showing up for you. If you think this is the right guy, watch the way he's showing up. And don't punish him if he doesn't show up 100% of the time because, frankly, we're human, right? Things happen. Also, if his pattern is off and on, if he's hot and cold with you, that's what's to come. That's future. He's not going to be any different with anyone else.
I always thought that the more I got to know somebody, the more they would change. And you know what I learned is that people show you who they are really quickly the first time. But if you don't pay attention, they'll do it the second time and the third time. So it's really up to you to allow yourself to really see the man for who he is and allow him to take care of you. Like my husband now, he paid for my tire. He actually rented a car for me. Like I was like blown away. I would have never have known that he was going to do that for me if I wouldn't have allowed him. And it's not about what he spent, it's about the thoughtfulness, how he took care of me. And that's what I wanted to see. And you cannot see that if you don't allow him to be a man around you.
Right.
It was very difficult for me, guys, to do that. But I had to in order to see what kind of a man he was. And also so that I could be treated as a girl and he could show up differently. And let's just face it, I didn't want that sexual relationship that I had with my husband. I wanted to shift that chemistry and keep it in tension.
Right.
So there was a lot of things that I wanted to also do. So you could say that I was strategic, but I knew that I wanted him to be that long-term relationship for me. So I was willing to try things differently because what I had been doing in the past was not working.
Right. And I think I love that you shared all that too. And to your point, it's about letting go of control of what you want. It's about letting go of your ideals of some of it, of how you think it should be. It's about not, even if you don't want to lose someone, but giving them the space to come towards you. I talk about how men fall in love quite a bit, but if, this is a whole nother topic, but I'll dig into this just a bit. As a natural process of a man falling in love with a woman is him pulling away a bit to actually see, he takes some time and he actually looks at, can I take this relationship to the next level? Am I capable of giving her what she deserves, what she needs, what she might even want? And, as a woman, it's about you inspiring him and seeding him and seeding those things.
Yeah.
And, having those expectations too. It's not about anything goes, because if anything goes, then you're a doormat. There's really foggy boundaries and, somebody isn't going to really show up for you consistently. So around that space, you had shared a story with me about your husband when you guys were in a certain point in your relationship. And it's typically, ladies, after experiencing intense closeness, a man might be like, whew, I gotta pull back and see this is what I want. And, he pulled away, and she had been working on herself with a coach and really in this process of, okay, I get to not be attached to whether or not, I feel like he's the love of my life, but I can't be attached to whether he's the man or not for me. And think about, other things in your life that you've really wanted to have happen. And, if you push too hard, you might push them away.
Yeah. I mean, to your point at that moment, even though he a very stable guy, you know, knock on wood, right? And just an amazing man. He did pull away, knowing that he was getting really scared, because then he confessed to me later on that he was just like, oh my God, she could be the one. Am I ready? Exactly what you said. Can I give her what she wants? Can I make her happy? Can I make all of her dreams come true? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that were, well, first of all, I knew I wanted him because he was a quality man. Mm-hmm. But I also knew that if I pursued him in a way that I had done in the past with my previous relationships, I kind of knew the ending. I knew what it could look like. So I followed the coaching against what I wanted, but it felt counterintuitive. But I was really teaching him that if he really wanted a woman of value, he would have to pursue me. Mm-hmm. That was very hard for me to understand. But it was a lesson that it was so hard for me the first go around that I was willing to try this.
Right.
And risk losing him, and knowing that, you know what, if he doesn't deliver or he doesn't come back to me, then we were not meant to be, because I didn't want to settle.
Right. So a couple of things you said. If he didn't come back to her, or he didn't deliver, she wasn't going to settle regardless. And I think a lot of times as women, we're like a dog with a bone. If we meet someone that makes us feel so amazing, we feel so connected, it's the best thing ever. And I think we've all been there. Yeah. And maybe with someone that you're with right now, or someone that you're not with. And frankly, there are a lot of different factors for men that make him want to move forward. And I'm here to tell you, love is not enough. It never is for a guy. For women, it is, frankly. For women, I can do like a whole mini series around this. For women, you know, we're all about the Notebook and like epic love that lasts for a lifetime.
We're those kind of creatures. I mean, it's just, yeah.
And men are inspired by that. And something that you mentioned earlier that I don't talk about enough is men also want to be inspired by you.
Right.
And it's not about being the best looking woman in the room or the world. It's about inspiring them to want to continue to work hard for you.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, men really, they also, like Cindy said, you know, we want this like amazing and connected relationship and just love everywhere. Men also want to feel wowed by their women.
Yeah.
In a way that they're like, wow, like look at her. Look at what she's accomplishing. Look at what she's doing. Like, a woman that's on her own,
not for them. So maybe you want to be
good distinction.
Maybe you want to become a really amazing yoga instructor, or you want to learn Spanish or calligraphy. I know it sounds crazy, but maybe you're really passionate about it. If he sees that passion, he's inspired by you, and it's not all about him. So when you take your eyes off of him, you focus on yourself, you have those boundaries, and you ask for what you want in a way of, this makes me so happy when you do that.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one. And I have to share this, guys or girls, but it's like, it drives me nuts, Cindy, when I hear girls say, well, before I used to do it too, so.
We've all done it.
Yeah, we've all done it. When they're like, well, why doesn't he get me this gift or that gift or whatever? And then
he's not a mind reader.
Exactly. And then you say like, well, if he loved me, he'd know. You know, it's almost like, and I'm not making fun. What I am trying to tell you is that show him what you like. Like if you like a certain brand, if you like the holidays are here, right? So gifts are coming. So like if you like, I don't know, whatever, you know, whatever brand is it that you fancy. Walk with him, show him what you like. Well, look, you could say like, wow, this is beautiful. I really like this wallet. I love this bracelet.
Right.
I love these shoes. Pick the color, make it easy for them.
Yeah.
I promise you, this was I was so resistant about this.
And they're not maybe going to get you everything you want.
Right.
But
this ensures you that at least
no, it works so well. I've done this so many times and I'm never disappointed.
I started doing it saying like, you know what, the hell with it, I'm gonna do it. And now I do it without even thinking about it or being attached to anything. I just do it, and next thing you know, I have what I want. I promise you, because he wants to surprise you. He wants to make you happy. He wants to see you smile. And the easier you make it for them, you're easy to love.
Yeah.
You're easy to be around. You're easy to have fun with.
It's so true. And if you make someone wrong if you make him wrong for the things he's not doing, or you make, it's kind of like, I remember growing up, my mom would want a certain brand of something. Like she liked a certain brand of business suits. And so my dad and I would go shopping, and it was really fun to go shopping with my dad. And inevitably, my mom would get it, and the look on her face would be like, thanks. And I was like, oh my gosh, we got your favorite brand. Like in my mind as a child, I thought, what in the world? But the thing is she didn't realize, had she communicated, hey guys, I want this, I love this navy blue suit, like this, like that.
Throw hands,
and it's at this store, this price, boom. I mean, my dad would have gotten her anything. And in fact, my dad was the kind of guy, we'd go out Christmas shopping, and I would always benefit because
that's great.
It was great. Like, I remember I'd be like trying on something. He'd be like, do you want that? And I would go, yeah. He'd be like, okay, I'm going to get it for you. And because he wanted to make me happy, he went shopping with me one time a year.
Yeah.
But that story just popped into my mind because I remember we would do that, and it was like we were playing a guessing game, and I would go shopping with my mom all the time. And I would try to look. Men are always doing that. They're always looking. They're always watching. And if you say, I love this, and it makes him, when he makes you happy, he's happy, he feels more connected to you, he actually feels accepted by you, and he's going to connect deeper with you. He's going to share more. But do yourself a favor, don't solve his problem for him.
Exactly. I mean, I would throw this out there. I mean, for the holidays, it's try it out. If you have a loved one or a significant other and you think that we're just like blowing smoke, I swear we're not. Do it. It's so, to me now, it's super fun. Now we just go to the mall or whatever.
Do it with your dad.
Yeah.
Dad, I love blank.
Exactly. Just like that. And just like Cindy said, don't make them wrong. Just put it in front of them so it's easy. And in reality, men are just so much easier than us. And we think, as I thought before, that men were as complicated as we were, but that's not the case. They're really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So asking for what you want can be as easy as that. Asking, for a gift, as we were discussing, asking for how you feel. When something makes you feel really special that he did, remind him of that. Let him know. Men want to, they're always like in their male energy, like touch them when you're actually telling them that. So he connects to the physical touch and the emotion of when they're hearing you. And it's super important.
So men connect with emotion. It's like when you see a big buff guy with a woman, and if you actually notice her touching him, it's like he melts like butter. Totally. If any of you have sons, the touch will melt them. Like my little boy, when I get him in a position and I do it on purpose and I start to touch, I'll touch his arms and he'll be like, ah. And it's so cute. One, it's adorable because he's 3, but secondly, it relaxes him. And boys it's just natural. They want to do things aggressive. Why are boys into race cars and crashing things and girls are into dolls? We have diffused awareness. We can see things, and we can see things emotionally that boys can't. They're single focused. And we have a tenderness about us that we can actually bring out for them. We're like a safe haven to them. Yeah. And if you allow for that and you're not cutting him off inadvertently, he'll open up to you like it's like melting butter.
It's like cracking a code.
Yeah,
really. And that's a great point to make. I always when you're gonna say something, make sure to establish the context, and the context is touching. It's a friendly, conversation, a loving conversation. It's not to attack or to make wrong. So that's very important. And anything that you're asking to establish that context of being, of togetherness, really. Right. So that's something that I teach, and I teach my husband, and I don't talk to him about it in a way that it's like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do this. No, it's just, I just show him, but it's something I do on a regular basis, and I feel like my needs are met, but because I ask and I communicate what they are in a way that he can understand me. So that if they can do that, I mean, you'll be happy. I promise you will. Are you getting some questions here?
Yeah, let's see. If you guys have any questions, feel free. We'll be on for a couple more minutes. Let's see. Hi, Cassandra. It's good to see you on here. Julie once went Christmas shopping with a boyfriend and mentioned, without thinking, that I always wanted a cordless drill. Guess what I got for Christmas?
Yay!
A cordless drill. She didn't really want the cordless drill.
Right, but it's
just like a cordless drill. But it's those types of things.
I promise you, it's simple, and you feel like, why am I just do it?
Right.
Make your life easier. I've gotten so many things that I've wanted over doing this intentionally. I will never stop doing this, ever.
Right. And he's probably, the thing about men that's great is they're like, she's so easy to please. And, as women, we can be, like I said, we can be very complicated. We can also misconstrue the things that they say into something different. So if you don't take away anything else besides how to ask for what you want, if you don't take away anything else, remember this: what a man says is what he means.
Totally.
So like what you were saying about your husband, when he pulled away and he was like, am I ready for this? She could be the one for me. And if a man in his heart of all hearts isn't ready, so if he wasn't ready, he would have let you go.
He would have let me go. And I had to trust that. That was another big lesson for me, because I'm such a control freak, that men, what they say is really what they mean. It's not like us that we say, oh, we're okay, and we're really not. We're like upset. It's not like that. So take it as face value.
Yeah.
If they say, I'm not ready, they're not ready. So don't try to get him ready, because you'll be trying to get him ready for a lot of things that he may not be willing to do.
And it's frustrating. It's like beating your head up against the wall when you could meet someone else that really wants what you want. And if you're looking to take on a project, take on yourself. Yeah, it sounds kind of crazy, but you know, take on that part of, you know, why, you know, ask yourself the question, why am I looking to solve a problem with a man when maybe it's me that I get to focus on and grow and shift and really invite in inspiring love with one another. So I hope this helps you guys. We're going to sign off. We've been, you know, we don't have a problem with sharing a ton of information. And I want you to know that I will answer all of your questions. If anything pops up for you, or, you know, if you're confused about a certain situation, I am happy to support you around that and, you know, helping you in the area of really receiving the kind of love that you deeply desire. Stay tuned because I'm having an amazing holiday challenge.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be super fun. So I can't wait for you guys to join me, and it will be a holiday challenge around.
So
it's going to be fun. It's going to be around like the 12 days of Christmas. So the 12 dates of Christmas, whether you're in a relationship or you're dating, or, you know, you're looking to bring in true love, you're not going to want to miss this because I am blown away at all of the things we're going to cover. So it's exciting. And, you know, ladies, thank Julia for generously taking her time out during this time of year, the most wonderful time of year.
Oh my God. It was my pleasure. It's so fun. It really is. I feel like, you know, we get to chat and talk about the things that we've learned and what's working, what doesn't work, because at the end of the day, we're women, we're connected, we go through a lot of the same things. And having a community and sharing and talking, really, it doesn't have to be hard. It just, you know, put your questions in the comment section and we'll help you with just everything. Absolutely. It was a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. And again, get support in this area. It can be, you know, once you get over that hump and that, you know, Julia and I both are always doing personal development.
Yeah.
And, you know, it never ends. So this is an area of that emotional maturity, personal development, and high quality, high value men seek that out in a woman. So sending love.
Yeah.
Have an amazing night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.